All right, let's jump into this piece. Penn State. Penn State. All right, so Penn State. Let me lead this piece in, and I'll let you run with it. As we all know, Penn State. I want to say it was 3 or 4 days after Manny Diaz was fired from the University of Miami as the head coach. Coach James Franklin decides to pick up his talents in Manny Diaz and bring him to Penn State. I'm gonna just say this piece, and you're gonna have the rest of the floor, and we'll move on. There's a young man that was in Central Florida named Zane Durant who went to Lake Nona, who was possibly going to be a shoe-in for Miami and ended up going to Penn State. All right, cool. I just want to put this piece out because it is the Coach Me Coach podcast. This right here is a prime example. If there are any recruits listening or parents of recruits listening, this is why you don't play around with these coaches. You have to handle this like grown man business. I want to explain. I've said this numerous times on my podcast, and I'm going to say it again. I don't know this to be true. I'm simply using this as an example. Just imagine if Zane Durant was playing around with Manny Diaz. Yeah, I'm coming, coach. I'm coming, just playing that game. And ends up I'm going to Penn State anyway, regardless, instead of handling grown man business. Again, this is an example. Now look who becomes your defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. See, that's why. Now, again, I know these coaches play games. But as a young man and a family, you can't play game with these coaches because it gets back around and it happens. Now your destiny is ultimately in this guy's hands. So I said all that to say, I just want to put that out there from a coach me coach standpoint. And Penn State picking up Manny Diaz as a defensive coordinator, is that plus or minus for Penn State and James Franklin and the Lions?
Well, you tell me. He was your coach for for a while. What is Manny like on defense? I remember you were saying that he doesn't like to use a play sheet, which I will say this.
I never said that. Actually, I never said that. That was what was being said.
Oh, that's what was being said. Okay, my bad.
No. I said that because I find that from a coaching standpoint, I don't know how to take that because, again, people take stuff, they screw it, they play with it. I know he has a playbook. I know he had. Now, I did say on game day he doesn't refer to a sheet.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was referring to.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what
he doesn't refer
to. After the
he doesn't game. Refer to. Yeah, he doesn't refer to a game sheet. Now that can be detrimental, but playbook, that's something totally different. All right. I know he has a playbook. Yeah, but he doesn't have the play sheet, the what if, the down and distance, and all that stuff. Again, I don't know. It's amazing to me how they recycle a lot of these coaches so fast. But again, Manny Diaz may reinvent himself, not reinvent, but show who he really was. Is he's probably a better coordinator than he was a head coach. And there are coaches out there that's like that. They had to try their hand at a head coach. And when my cup of tea, that's not where I'm really favored at. I might be a great defensive coordinator, but we're here to find out. What's your take?
Penn State, the biggest thing for them, we and I talked about this. I'm curious as to what they do on offense because the one thing about Penn State, they lost Jahan Dotson, but Parker Washington is a baller, and they have Lambert coming back. They have some good receivers. Got a pretty good tight end who's coming back. A nice, stable of good running backs, at their disposal. Is quarterback. Sean Clifford's coming back for his 20th year. what seems like now. You got a baller, a certified baller. You did his film, Drew Aller, a certified baller who, if I'm just telling you, I'm more nervous to play him than to play Sean Clifford. And so for me, it's like, okay, what direction do you want the offense to go in? And maybe Clifford has improved some, and maybe it's for, Drew to sit on the bench for a year. But I think that dude can play. With Manny Diaz, Penn State, they're always going to have a good defense. They have great linebackers. Obviously, they lost some talent. Brandon Smith, he's going to the draft. Jesse Luketa, he's gone. But, you got Joey Porter Jr., on outside, which is weird. It's like I was watching Joey Porter Sr. play the other day, so to speak. And it's like now his son is, going to get drafted pretty high. They have another returning safety. They do have some young talent. They have to restock on the defensive line. Zane Durant is one that you mentioned. I expect Penn State to kind of be the same Penn State, to be honest with you. If James Franklin, they will stay in games. They're going to play good defense. They're going to play good physical defense. They got PJ Buster. I'm not even going to. PJ, I know his first name, but we talked about it before. You talk about a dude at defensive tackle that can stuff the run. He is a key clog in there, and he's coming back from injury. It's if Manny Diaz can replicate, the success that they've had, I feel like their systems are somewhat similar. They're going to cause, headaches for the offense. They're going to be super aggressive. Penn State is super aggressive, playing well. And James Franklin is just, in-game management. That's one of the things that hurts them, in-game management. So if they can clear some of that stuff up, they can definitely make things interesting. But they will be, a young team on certain sides of the ball, and the offensive line has to block. I saw a video of them blocking, and they struggle with run fits, and just run blocking and everything. So I'm looking to see what they do, see if these recruits, they got some talented recruits coming in, and so we'll see if they can make a difference early on.
Definitely, man. Before we jump into our next one, man, like I said, that's Penn State. We'll all be checking them out. I'm going through all 12 of these, so that's why we kind of running, and we keeping it to the hour mark. Currently got 37 in the building. I appreciate you guys. Hit that button. Let's make this thing big. And again, we're going to chop these up so you can dissect these nuggets throughout the week coming up as we come on to our next show. Justin Trosper said Penn State recruited well this year, so I look for next year to be their run. So, yeah, we'll find out, man. We'll see. And I think Manny Diaz, he's not a dumb guy. I just think, and I did a show a while back about being over your head. Was the you too much for Manny Diaz? And there's a lot of factors into that. So, again, some guys are just not good head coaches, right? But they're better coordinators or better position coaches, and we'll definitely find that out.